Hey, and welcome to Board with Life News for July 19th, brought to you by Holy Grail Games. Today I'm going to talk about Neon Gods, expansions for Heaven and Ale and A Feast for Odin, Spell Smashers, and the Kickstarter for SPQF. Let's get to it. Neon Gods is a new game just announced from Plaid Hat Games, designed by Isaac Vega. In the game, it is a alternate future that takes place in 2009. It's very based off 70s and 80s kind of gang action warriors-esque films. It looks like in the game you're building a gang and trying to manage your black market empire and stuff like that. I think this started as a re-envisioning of City of Remnants, which was a game that came out several years back from Plaid Hat Games and is an underrated game, I think. I think it's really a good game that isn't one of their kind of huge hits or whatever. It's changed very significantly. I looked at the rules, so it's not just a reprint of it. It's a new game, kind of based around the same ideas, so I'm definitely very excited to try it out. The neon color scheme and everything is really awesome and totally stands out on the table from a bunch of other games, so I'm excited about that. Heaven and Ale is getting its first expansion. Heaven and Ale came out the end of last year and was a Kinderspiel nominee this year. I absolutely love Heaven and Ale. I was shocked at how much I liked it because I normally am not super into games that are that heavy because I usually feel like I can get kind of the things I want from a game in a lighter game that's easier to teach, it's faster, but I was really taken by Heaven and Ale. The new expansion is going to feature new boards where you can deliver, or you must deliver, the beer that your monks are producing, so that's interesting, but it's not coming out until mid-2019, so it won't come out for almost a year. A Feast for Odin, Uwe Rosenberg's hit game from 2016, is getting its first major expansion. It's called The Norwegians. It's going to add in new pieces, another mountain strip, meat, and start buildings to provide more variety at the start of the game. Sorry, I was laughing at meat because the thing I read just said meat. Now with more meat, which is what I always wanted from Feast for Odin. Anyways, so the start buildings look like they're going to basically add variety to the very start of the game, so you don't have to kind of start building your engine before you're diverging and doing different strategies. It's a way to start out with that. I thought A Feast for Odin was really, really good. I love the polyomino tiles. I'm excited that there are going to be new pieces, the new polyominoes, for that, so excited to see this one out at Essen 2018. Spell Smashers was announced by Renegade Game Studios. This is a word game where you are spelling out words or spells or whatever to try to fight and defeat monsters. When you defeat the monsters, you get new letters to put into your deck of letters for spelling words, obviously, but whenever you take damage, you get difficult letter combinations, which is kind of an interesting way to do that, where it's harder to use those things. Word games aren't my thing. I've never played one that I cared for. I am bad at spelling, just naturally terrible at spelling, so they're very frustrating because I'm just inherently worse at word games than other people. But this one seems like it's very thematic, which is fun. That's not usually something you see in word games, and it's got awesome artwork by the artist behind the North Star trilogy. This week's Kickstarter is for SPQF. This is a new kind of innovative twist on a deck builder by Grant Rodiak that actually looks like it's an innovative twist on a deck builder. There's a lot of kind of iteration on that same idea, but this one has a couple of unique things, mainly the thing that you recruit cards from other players. They're unused cards, so the buy phase, I don't know if it's a phase in this game, but when you buy cards, you're not buying from a pool of cards in the middle, you're buying from the other players, which is a really cool deck, and it's using multi-use cards, which I really like, so I'm interested to see that combined into deck builders. Grant does tiny print runs of these games on Kickstarter, so this is maybe your only chance to ever get this game, and it's only going to be printed in less than 1,000 copies, so jump on that if you're interested. It is $49 right now on Kickstarter. Alright, that's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to this page. Make sure you follow me on social media. I'm at Bryan Games on Instagram and Twitter. And next week, I am going to be doing my top 10 list of most anticipated games at Gen Con. Gen Con is crazy snuck up on me. I'm actually going to be going this year. I didn't think I was going to, but I do need to go for a couple meetings. So I'm going to be there. So if you see me there, definitely stop me and say hi. Yeah, so top 10 list for Gen Con next week. Make sure you check that out because people like that. This week's question comes from @Danny and Derek via Twitter, and they ask, what are your hobbies outside of board gaming and design? I have a ton of hobbies. I'm a really obsessive person. I find stuff that I get like addicted to. Like if you follow me on social media right now, I'm obsessed with modifying cars for a miniatures game called Gaslands. So that's like what I'm doing with my free time right now. But I like gardening a lot. I've got a pretty decent sized garden in my backyard. I like cooking. I like preserving, like pickling, making jellies and jams and stuff. I'm big into food. I rock climb, I run, and I cycle. And I started rock climbing about a year and a half ago, and I like that a whole lot. And I've started running again, and I've kind of gotten re-addicted to that, so I'm doing that a lot these days as well. Filmmaking, which is both kind of a hobby and a career. I'm not doing that as much as I used to, just from time, and most of my creative energy I was putting there and putting into game design now. And I also play drums, and throughout the years have played in bands and stuff like that. I like making music. Yeah, I've got a lot of hobbies, so those are some of them. So thanks for tuning in. That was a great question, and I'll see you next week.